What if I told you there's a country where East meets West, literally, and where ancient empires, alien-like landscapes, and turquoise coastlines all live side by side? Yep, we're talking about Turkey, but not the Turkey from your history books or travel brochures. We're going deeper, into mystical caves, sunlit ruins, sky-high towers, and thermal pools that look like frozen waterfalls, but are actually hot. This place is so much more than kebabs and carpets. In the next few minutes, you'll discover 10 jaw-dropping destinations across Turkey that blend mystery, beauty, and pure adventure. Some of them are so surreal they don't even look real. Others are older than Rome itself. So whether you're planning your dream trip or just adding to your bucket list, you're in for a ride. Oh, and before we jump in, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, so you never miss another epic destination that might just change the way you travel. And stick around till the end, because number 10 will take you to a mountain where gods were once carved into stone, literally. Ready to explore? Let's dive into Turkey's most unforgettable places. How many cities can you name that exist on 2 continents at the same time? Welcome to Istanbul, the only place on Earth where your morning coffee can be in Europe, and your afternoon stroll takes you straight into Asia. This city doesn't just bridge 2 continents. It feels like 2 worlds woven into one. Wander through the ancient alleyways of the old town, and suddenly you're in a different century. Ottoman mosques echo with the sound of call to prayer, while street vendors sell everything from hand-woven rugs to grilled chestnuts, right next to ultra-modern cafes pouring perfect flat whites. Head to the Grand Bazaar and get ready to lose yourself, literally. With over 4,000 shops, it's one of the oldest and largest covered markets on the planet. Looking for spices, gold, a lampshade that looks like it belongs in Aladdin? You'll find it here, probably twice. Then there's Hagia Sophia, a marvel that has been a church, a mosque, a museum, and now a mosque again. It has watched over empires rise and fall from the Byzantines to the Ottomans. When you stand beneath its massive dome, you're standing in a building that ruled over 2 religions and 2 millennia. Want a view that will steal your breath? Climb the Galata Tower, one of the highest points in the city. From here, the skyline rolls out like a Persian rug. Domes, minarets, bridges, and ferries slicing through the Bosphorus. It's Istanbul in one unforgettable glance. And don't miss Istiklal Street, the city's beating heart. A buzzing avenue of shops, music, street performers, and steaming plates of Turkish delight. Try a strong Turkish coffee here. It's not just a drink, it's a ritual. Istanbul is more than a city. It's a living, breathing history book, written in stone, flavor, and rhythm. And guess what? We're only just getting started. What if you could swim in a postcard? In Ölüdeniz you can. Even the air smells like calm here. Salty sea breeze, pine trees, warm sun on your skin. It's like nature mixed up its best ingredients and gave us this little slice of paradise. Ölüdeniz is tucked along Turkey's southwest coast, but it doesn't shout for attention. It doesn't need to. One look at its absurdly turquoise lagoon and your brain quietly goes, "Yep, this must be heaven." This isn't just any beach. This is one of the most photographed coastlines in the world, and when you see it from above while paragliding, you'll understand why. Picture yourself gliding silently through the sky, a bright ribbon of sand below, wrapped in waters so blue they don't look real, and somehow they are. But Ölüdeniz isn't just for lazy sunbathers. Take a hike into the hills and you'll stumble into Kayaköy, a forgotten ghost village that whispers stories from 100 years ago. Crumbling stone homes, empty churches, overgrown paths. It's peaceful and eerie all at once, like time just gave up and left it alone. Want adventure, want stillness, want grilled seafood with a front row seat to the sunset? This place checks all the boxes and then throws in a few you didn't even know you wanted. Whether you're floating in warm lagoon waters or flying over them like a bird, Ölüdeniz doesn't just feel like a getaway, it feels like a dream that refuses to fade. Bears, waterfalls, and mountain biking, yes, all in one place. Tired of cities? Then lace up your boots. Because Aladağlar National Park isn't just a park. It's a full-blown adventure zone carved into the heart of the Taurus Mountains. Here, you'll trade skyscrapers for jagged peaks and traffic jams for hidden trails. The air is crisp, the ground smells of pine and earth, and you'll hear more bird song than car horns. Nature doesn't whisper here. It roars. Picture this. You're hiking through ancient cedar forests when suddenly the sound of rushing water fills the air. You follow it, and boom, there it is, Cappadocia Falls. one of the tallest waterfalls in the country, crashing down sheer rock like nature's own fire hose. Mist kisses your face. You smile without realizing it. And the best part? This place is still off most tourists' radar. That means you might have a whole trail, or waterfall, all to yourself. Feeling brave? Try mountain biking the rugged paths, or go rock climbing on limestone cliffs that attract daredevils from across the globe. Prefer something calmer? Book a guided eco-tour and spot wild goats, soaring eagles, maybe even a wolf in the distance. Don't worry, they keep to themselves. At night, the stars come out in full force. No light pollution, no noise. Just a crackling campfire, the wind through the trees, and maybe the distant hoot of an owl. If you've ever wanted to escape, really escape, Aladağlar isn't just a place to visit. It's a place to feel alive again. Those snow-white cliffs? They're not cold. They're hotter than your morning coffee. At first glance, Pamukkale looks like a mountaintop straight out of a fairy tale. Snowy, glittering, and still. But then you dip your toes in and, wait, is that warm water? Yep, what you're looking at isn't ice. It's a natural spa built by the earth herself. Pamukkale, which literally means cotton castle in Turkish, is made from travertine, a kind of white limestone left behind by mineral-rich thermal waters that have been bubbling out of the mountain for thousands of years. These terraced pools form a staircase of warm, blue water, perfect for soaking, lounging, and feeling like you just stepped into another planet. But the magic doesn't stop there. Right above the terraces sits the ancient city of Hierapolis, where Romans once traveled just to bathe, heal, and unwind. Imagine soaking in a thermal pool surrounded by crumbling stone columns and ancient bathhouses. This was their version of a luxury resort, minus the overpriced cocktails. Wander through the ruins of temples, necropolises, and a massive amphitheater that still echoes with ancient voices. The vibe is a blend of geology, mythology, and old-world glamour. In Pamukkale, you don't just see history, you bathe in it. It's one of the few places on Earth where nature and civilization left behind a perfect, steamy postcard. What happens when a chill beach city grows up with impeccable taste? You get Izmir. Izmir isn't the loudest city in Turkey. It doesn't need to be. It leans back, shades on, sipping strong Turkish coffee by the water. Cool, cultured, and full of charm. This is Turkey's third largest city, but it feels like the Aegean's best-kept secret. Warm sea breeze? Check. Tree-lined boulevards and vibrant street life? Double check. Add in ancient ruins and Ottoman flair, and you've got a city that's both relaxed and rich in story. Start at the Kemeraltı Market, a maze of alleys packed with spice shops, gold jewelry, handmade soaps, and old-school tea vendors shouting in Turkish. It's chaotic, colorful, and smells like a mix of fresh leather, roasted chestnuts, and jasmine. You might walk in for a magnet and leave with an antique lamp, 3 scarves, and a new friend named Mustafa. Wander to Konak Square, where modern life buzzes around the Izmir Clock Tower, an elegant 25-meter-tall relic from the Ottoman era. Pigeons flutter overhead, students hang out under the palm trees, and the hum of daily life blends with the echoes of centuries past. Then step inside the Hisar Mosque, one of the largest in the city. Its inner walls are a kaleidoscope of Ottoman tile work, hand-painted patterns and soft light streaming through stained glass. It's peaceful, humbling, and timeless. Izmir is that rare blend, ancient soul, modern vibe, and beach town attitude. It doesn't scream for your attention. It just earns it one sunset at a time. 6. Ephesus. You're walking down marble roads where emperors strolled, and gladiators once fought for their lives. Welcome to Ephesus, where the ruins whisper secrets from over 2,000 years ago. At its peak, this ancient city had over 200,000 people, sprawling villas, bathhouses, temples, and markets, and not just any markets. This was one of Rome's most important cities in Asia Minor, a hub of politics, trade, and culture. Think of it as the New York City of the ancient Mediterranean, but with more togas and fewer taxis. Start with the Library of Celsus, a majestic facade that looks like a film set, except it's 100% real. Once housing thousands of scrolls, it stood as a symbol of wisdom and power. Some even believed it was built to rival the great libraries of Alexandria. Just a few steps away, you'll find Hadrian's Gate, named after the Roman emperor who loved architecture almost as much as conquering. The details are mind-blowing. Intricate carvings of gods, vines, and mythological beasts straight from Olympus. And then there's the Great Theater, massive, carved into the hillside with seating for over 25,000 spectators. Imagine the roars of ancient crowds as actors recited plays, or gladiators clashed in front of cheering citizens. If you stand at the bottom and speak, your voice still echoes perfectly up to the top rows. No mic needed, just ancient genius. Every corner here feels like a portal back in time. You're not just seeing history, you're standing in it. In Ephesus, myths aren't just stories, they're carved in stone and they're still watching you. 7. Alanya. A queen once swam here, a fortress watched over her, and the sea still remembers. Alanya is the kind of place that feels like it's hiding a secret. Maybe it's the ancient fortress towering above the city, or the waves that have kissed this shore for centuries. But if you listen closely, you'll hear echoes of a legend, the story of Cleopatra. Yes, that Cleopatra. It's said that Cleopatra Beach was a personal gift from Mark Antony to the Egyptian queen. She swam in these exact turquoise waters wrapped in royal silk while Roman ships anchored just offshore. Today the sand is still soft, the water still impossibly clear, and the legend still alive. Above the beach sits Alanya Castle, perched high on a rocky peninsula. Built by the Seljuks in the 13th century, it's a maze of stone walls, watchtowers, and ancient houses, many still standing. Walk its paths and you'll feel the past beneath your feet. These stones have seen conquests, coronations, and countless sunsets. Don't miss the Emedek Fortress, hidden within the citadel walls. Its dark corridors and panoramic views once guarded the city, and now they quietly awe every visitor who climbs that hill. And just below the castle lies a portal into Earth's breath, the Damlatas Caves. Discovered by accident during construction in the 1940s, this underground wonder is filled with 30-million-year-old stalactites. The air here is rich in minerals, making it not only magical but medicinal. Locals swear it helps with asthma, and maybe with heartbreak too. Alanya isn't just a beach town, it's a place where stories are buried in the sand and whispered by the sea. 8. Antalya. 1 minute you're sipping coffee by the sea. The next, you're face to face with Roman emperors and Ottoman poets. Antalya is not just a city. It's a living museum where the modern world casually strolls through thousands of years of history. Start your day at the old harbor, where yachts and fishing boats sway in rhythm with the turquoise sea. You can rent a spot at the Cliffside Beach Club where there's no sand, just sun-warmed stone ledges, comfy loungers, and umbrellas fluttering in the breeze. It's a front-row seat to the Mediterranean, minus the crowds. But just take a few steps inland, and everything changes. Suddenly, you're in Cappadocia, Antalya's historic core, a labyrinth of Ottoman-era streets with red-tiled roofs, stone mansions, and hidden courtyards. Walk slowly. The scent of Turkish coffee, orange blossoms, and fresh gazlem lingers in the air. You're walking where merchants, poets, and sultans once wandered. Turn a corner and boom. Hadrian's Gate, built in 130 AD to honor a Roman emperor's visit, still standing proud with its white marble arches and lion carvings. Time travel? No, just Antalya doing its thing. Want a dose of culture? Visit the Hasim Iskan Cultural Center for live music, theater, or a Turkish ballet that'll give Broadway a run for its money. The Antalya State Theater regularly stages everything from ancient epics to modern dramas, with locals and visitors packing the seats. And if ruins are your thing, just beyond the city, you'll find ancient cities like Purge and Aspendos, where the amphitheaters still echo with the ghosts of performances past. In Antalya, time isn't linear, it's layered, and you're free to wander through every century of it. 9. Cappadocia. What do you get when volcanoes meet cave people? A fantasy world that actually exists. If the moon and Middle-earth had a baby, it would be Cappadocia. Carved over millions of years by volcanic eruptions, wind, and rain, this region in central Turkey looks like someone whispered a dream to the land, and the land believed it. Here, you won't find skyscrapers. You'll find fairy chimneys. Tall, whimsical rock spires rising from the earth like nature's own castles. Locals once carved homes, churches, and entire cities inside them. Yes, actual cities, with ventilation shafts, stables, wine cellars, and trapdoors to confuse invaders. Welcome to Pamukkale and Derinkuyu, underground cities where entire communities hid, prayed, and thrived beneath the surface. But the magic doesn't stop underground. Wake up before dawn and step into a basket. As the sun stretches over the horizon, dozens of hot air balloons rise silently into the sky. From up there, The Gorem Valley looks like a watercolor painting left out in the rain, pinks, oranges, beiges, and whites melting together into surreal waves of stone. You're floating above an ancient land that's older than legend, yet somehow feels untouched by time. Down below, the Gorem Open Air Museum is your gateway to early Christian history. Walk through ancient, rock-hewn chapels covered in Byzantine frescoes, where even the silence feels sacred. And if your feet are still itching, hike the Ilara Valley, where a turquoise river weaves through deep canyons, and every bend hides a chapel, a cave, or a view that makes you forget Wi-Fi exists. Cappadocia doesn't just look different, it feels different, like stepping into a forgotten fairy tale that welcomes visitors, but never truly lets them go. 10. Mount Nemrut. Giant stone heads on a mountaintop? Sounds like mythology, but this one's real, and sacred enough for UNESCO. At first glance, Mount Nemrut looks like something out of a lost legend, a lonely peak crowned by massive stone statues, staring into the wind like ancient watchers. But this isn't just a pile of rocks, it's a tomb built to touch the heavens. In the 1st century BC, King Antiochus I of Commagene did something few rulers dared. He combined the Greek and Persian gods and declared himself their equal. Then, he built his eternal resting place here, nearly 7,000 feet above sea level, at the crossroads of civilizations. And to guard his soul, he placed colossal heads of eagles, lions, Zeus, Apollo, and himself, each carved with stunning detail, each now weathered by 2,000 years of sun and storm. This isn't just history, it's a place where sky and spirit collide. Climbing to the summit before dawn, you'll feel the silence thicken as the sky shifts from black to gold. Then, just as the sun breaks over the horizon, the stone faces ignite in fiery orange light, like the gods themselves are waking. It's one of the most hauntingly beautiful sunrises on Earth. Not because of the view alone, but because of what it stirs inside you. You're standing among ancient deities above the clouds in a place meant for no ordinary human. And when you leave, you'll carry the stillness of that moment with you, a calm that stays long after your footsteps fade. So, which place made your jaw drop? Was it the white cliffs of Pamukkale, the hot air balloon sunrise over Cappadocia, or maybe those stone giants on Mount Nemrut staring across time? Drop your favorite in the comments. We read every single one. Seriously, your pick might even show up in our next video. And hey, if you felt that spark of wanderlust, subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss where we're off to next. The world is wild. Let's explore it together.